to my kitchen. This is my favorite room in the house. Why, you ask? Because this is where the food is, and I love to eat. And I'm very excited today because this is my very first cooking video. And I'm so excited to share with you what I'm going to make today, as well as other future recipes that are absolutely delicious. And everything I'm going to make are foods that I love to eat. So I hope you're going to enjoy this dish as well as the many others that will be coming up in the future. Today we're going to make coconut bread. It is a dessert that I have made several times and is very well liked by many people. It's gotten rave reviews, and I promise if you make it, you will get ecstatic reviews. It's a great dessert to make anytime. If you have children in school and you have bake sales, it's perfect for that. If you have coming over for coffee or tea, it's a great dessert to have. Or if you just want something sweet to eat and delicious, it's a great dessert. So why don't we begin with the ingredients. First, I want to tell you that coconut bread has buttermilk in it. And I usually buy buttermilk, but I've stopped recently because what happens is I use the cup of buttermilk that's required for the recipe, and then the rest of the carton of buttermilk goes to waste. And I absolutely hate wasting it. I throw it away and I don't use it. So something I discovered is that you can make your own buttermilk at home, and you usually have what you need to make it. Most of you have milk at home, most of you have lemon juice or white vinegar. So it's as simple as that. So let me show you. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of either lemon juice or white vinegar. You're going to put it into your measuring cup. I've used this, and then I filled it up. You're going to put the milk until you even up the top, and then you're going to let it sit for 5 minutes minimum. Why? Because in that 5 minutes the magic happens to get it as close to buttermilk as possible. And you're going to notice that the texture is not going to remain as is milk. It's going to get a little bit lumpy, and that's what you want. Almost like when milk is rotten and you pour it, not as big a lump, but little lumps. And that's when you know you've done it right. Okay, so let's continue with the rest of the ingredients. We have here 1 cup of shredded flaked coconut, 1 cup of chopped walnuts. I get it pre-chopped in the bag because it saves on time, so that's great. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of coconut extract, 2 cups of sugar, white sugar, 4 eggs, 3/4 of a cup of oil, and let me tell you that this is so exciting for me. A dessert that's going to use 2 8x2 pans, and all you need is 3/4 a cup of oil. Let me tell you, that is not an easy thing to find in delicious desserts, because most desserts have lots of butter. And I'm not against butter, not at all, I love it. But when I find a recipe that uses so little oil and tastes so good, it's very exciting. So you can consider this a healthy dessert if you want. Next, we're going to do our flour mixture. We are going to have 3 cups of flour. I have in this bowl 2 cups of flour. And I saved the 3rd cup because I wanted to show some of you who may not know how to measure flour. We don't ever want to pack it. You never want to, push the flour in and until you get, the cup. And you don't either want to have a heaping cup like this. You never want that because that's just too much flour. So what you do at this point is you want to level it off and get the excess flour off, just like that. And you have here your 1 cup of flour. So we have 3 cups flour, again, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This, again, is our flour mixture. And we are going to mix it all up, and then we're going to add it to our sugar mixture. So why don't we begin now that I've told you all the ingredients that you're going to need for this delicious dessert. So let's put in our 2 cups of sugar. our 4 eggs. And by the way, for this recipe, I use a good old-fashioned fork to mix everything around. I usually use a mixer, sorry, but I don't really need it in this one because you can integrate all the ingredients easily with your fork and it's not so difficult. You're going to add the oil. So we've added our sugar, our eggs, and our oil. And then we're going to take our coconut extract out and you are going to measure your 2 teaspoons of coconut extract. Okay, now you're going to just mix that all up like this. Just make sure all, the eggs are mixed. You don't see the egg yolks anymore. And you can smell the coconut extract. And as you're mixing it, it's going to get your tummy to rumble. Excited for the end result, which is a delicious, delicious coconut bread. And I love to make this dessert because it's different than your traditional banana breads and some of the other traditional loaves that you may have. It has nuts, it has the coconut, and I love any dessert with coconuts. I love any meal with coconut. So it's an ideal thing to make. So see here, I've integrated the sugar mixture. And it looks like this. I didn't need a mixer. It worked out well. And we're going to put that aside. We're going to come on over to the flour mixture. And we are going to, we have our 3 cups of flour. We need our 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Again, when you're measuring, if you're going to have one of these type of measuring teaspoons, you're going to level them off and add it. You don't need, heaping, unless the recipe calls for a heaping or packed ingredient. We're going to have our half teaspoon of baking soda. Add that. Put that aside. And then, last but not least, is our 1/4 teaspoon of salt. A little bit extra fell out, so I'm not going to use all of it. Now what I'll do is with a spoon, I'm going to just mix it all up here and make sure that our baking soda, baking powder, and salt are well integrated into the flour. And then this is where we are going to mix it all up.